Hello, welcome to, let me mute this, sorry. Okay, welcome to a Facebook Live with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am so glad that you are here, whether you catch me live or catch me on the replay. I really appreciate it. I did not schedule this. I just was working on some other things and decided that I needed to share this project with you. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. If you do create it on your own or if you kind of case it but change it up, I would love to see that over in my CJ Cards Stampers group here on Facebook. I think that's all I've got to say right now. So let's get started stamping. This is likely to be a quick live just because I'm still doing the whole parenting thing and that never seems to go away. So all right. So I wanted to show you a bundle that's going to be available on Wednesday called the Translucent Florals. So you can see the stamps are that distinctive stamping, so you get a lot of texture with just one stamp. It's got some really nice sentiments. And you could totally use these for weddings, birthdays, any kind of thank you with that you're the best, or pick-me-ups. Really, it's just a great stamp set. And then the dies are very cool because there are dies to cut out the stamped images like this. But then there are also these other dies that you can use to build flowers of your own. And I'll show you some examples of that here in just a little bit. I am also going to show you this new set of dies, the deckled circles, and these are huge. Like I think that might be 6 inches. So that is something that you're really going to want. And I think that's it. So I am going to get started here. This is the card that I made. You can see that deckled circle in vellum, and that is a 3-inch diameter circle. So it's pretty big all on its own, and it's one of the smaller of the dies. And then when you open inside, you see just a little bit of stamping and a peek at that designer series paper from the front. So, ooh, sorry, shaking you up. I forgot to pull the sequins that we're going to use. So we will just start here with a petal pink card base. You guys forgive me if I seem out of practice. I am not sure when my last live was. It's been a minute. Fortunately, the technology hasn't changed too much in the interim. It sometimes does change rapidly. So, all right, I've got these already die cut, and we're just going to layer them. So we don't need to stamp on those. And then this is a slightly smaller piece that I'm going to use for the insert. And then here is just a basic white panel that we're going to mat the designer series paper on. But first, we are going to do our stamping on it. So I just buried my ink pads. Let's get those. I'm going to start by stamping the foliage in petal pink. So we'll get this nice and inked up. All right, that looks good. We'll go just at a little bit of an angle there. Beautiful. Okay, I love it when it stamps right the first time. All right, and then while I have this, I'm going to go ahead and re-ink just kind of a little bit of this and stamp that off the bottom corner of my inside piece. Now there is a just different stamp that you could use to get the leaves as well. I just figured, well, that one's already mounted and good to go, we'll use it. All right, set that aside, and I'm hoping you can still hear me. I think that my AirPods just gave out on me or something. Not sure why they would have disconnected in the middle of a conversation. I can't tell if you can hear me right now, I sure would love a comment. If you could just drop a comment and say hello or tell me that the audio is okay. I should not have said anything about tech issues, should I? Let's see here. I think I still have sound. Hopefully we're good. All right. Hopefully if I don't have sound, you would tell me that as well. So I am just going to put this right here. Oh, thanks, Ellie. I appreciate that. Like I said, I don't know what my AirPods are doing. They can be hit or miss for sure. So now that I've stamped this on the mat, I'm going to die cut those. So give me just a second. You could certainly use some Post-it tape if you wanted to hold the die perfectly in place. I tend to go without because I don't have the patience for it. So I may end up regretting that decision, but hopefully it'll be all right. I probably spend far more time just trying to get it lined up properly than if I would just use the tape, right? All right. Run this through. Okay, and just like that, we have our die cuts. And this stitched label is from the, oh goodness, Stylish Shapes dies. So set those aside so I don't lose them. And now it really is pretty much just assembly. So let me pull out the pieces in the right order. And I am just going to use liquid glue for this part. And this designer series paper is from the annual catalog. It's called Inked Botanicals, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in just a minute. But I really love the colors that are in it. It's got Lost Lagoon and Calypso Coral and Petal Pink and Crushed Curry. So it's really lovely. All right, now we are going to adhere this directly to our card base. And then we'll work on the inside just a little bit before we build up our foliage pieces. So for the inside, I am using a 1-inch strip of the same designer series paper. And this pack is 6x6, so you sometimes will find that you cut it a little bit differently than if it was a 12x12. But you don't end up with very much left over after this project. So now you can see that I just glued this so that it's flush with the top. I'm going to come back in and trim that off with my snips here in just a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I have mentioned in the past that I really prefer doing my basic white cardstock liners with Stampin' Seal. And that is just because I don't like it when the liquid glue shows through the white. And it doesn't always do that, but I've just gotten in the habit now of doing it this way. All right, so we'll get that on there. Now that my glue should be set, I'll go ahead and snip off this little bit of designer series paper. You could also use your paper trimmer. You know, it's whatever's closer to hand generally is how I make that decision. Okay, so now I want to build up just a little bit of an arrangement here. I think I did something along those lines. So I don't need glue over all of it, and I really don't want glue over all of it because I don't want it making everything else sticky. I could certainly use my silicone craft mat if I wanted to, just to avoid getting glue on everything. But what I'm going to do is just keep it in the center, and that will actually allow a little more dimension as the pieces can kind of pull and separate a little bit. So this one is going to go a little more in line with the Calypso coral piece. And now what I did, because I didn't love that stem sticking out, just going to grab my snips and trim this off here so that it's not showing. Now I can adhere this to my vellum circle, and this is going to be a little bit off center here and then not quite vertical. For this I'm going to use seal. You can definitely use liquid glue with vellum, but again, personal preference, I just don't usually. All right, so again, I want this a little bit like that. And then I've got my sentiment here that's going to sit on just like this. So what I'm going to do is actually just put a little bit of liquid glue on here to catch my banner. And then we will secure it just a little bit better with a dimensional once we get all the rest of it adhered. So going to flip that over now, and what you'll notice is that I am going to adhere the vellum with dimensionals, but I'm going to hide them behind my foliage. That way it still looks pristine and nice. So peel off these little backings. These things go everywhere. Everybody at Backstage last weekend was joking about how they even made it into the hotel, because I think even though there wasn't a crafting focus at Backstage, there were definitely people who were crafting. All right, so that is the front of our project now. And I'm going to bring in my pastel adhesive backed sequins and my take your pick tool so that we can just glam this up a little bit. I'm going to use the pink sequins. I think they are actually petal pink, but these are iridescent enough that they will pick up whichever pink you put them with. And I'm using the spatula just because sometimes with sequins they can separate a little bit. I don't think that these do that, but I would like to be sure that I'm going to be successful here. All right, so I've got those three up there, and now I'm going to grab a couple for down at the bottom, like so. And that is our project. So I first got this bundle back in June. Stampin' Up! Did a Creativity Now is what they called it, an event for demonstrators where all we did was craft, and we had early access to this bundle from the new fall catalog. So if I can dig them out here, I will show you the projects that we did for that. They were really pretty simple, very different color palette, and really quite nice, but again, nothing terribly complex. This one was a little bit different just because we did color on the vellum with our Stampin' Blends. So that was fun. All right, so those are the ones from Stampin' Up! And then I do a tutorial bundle every month with some other demonstrators, and this month we are focusing on watercoloring, and so I decided to watercolor and then die cut. So this project, the tutorial is in that bundle. That bundle is a gift to all of my customers who place a $35 or more order in my online store. So I think that the watercoloring with that turned out really lovely. And then for September, my class to go boxes are back, and I am featuring this bundle. And so I was just going to show you quickly what you will make. It's 6 different projects. Everything is pre-cut and scored for you except for the things that you would do with the bundle. You can see there is those deckled circles again, and just some fun different projects there. And then for the last project, I did this cute little purse. You could fit a couple of Lindt chocolates in there, some other treats. So that is available for registration right now. And what it includes is some of this this gorgeous designer series paper, the inked botanicals, as well as those sequins, and I gotta find, there we go. This Calypso coral braided linen trim, maybe not linen, braided trim, is coming in the new catalog as well, and it is lovely. So you'll get a bolt of that. You'll get some of the More Dazzle paper and some gold foil. So this kit is going to have a ton of good, exciting contents so that you can do a lot of crafting even after you've completed the projects that I have designed. So that is all that I have for you today. Please make sure that you like and follow me here on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. I would love it if you register for that class to go that I have with Translucent Florals. I will put the link in the description of this video, and you will be able to register through next Wednesday, September 6th. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. I'm glad to be here live with you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.